Hey everybody, Tim here. Today's episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 16, Change of Heart. So this was an okay episode. I think the main plot is really interesting, and then the subplot is just awful. It's really bad. And go figure, it has to do with Dr. Bashir. I really like Bashir as a character, and I think they've done some really great things with him, but for whatever reason, subplots involving him are just awful. Which the whole subplot is just about Bashir trying to use his genetically engineered brain to beat Quark at one of his games. And then at the end, Quark starts using psychobabble and talking about how Dax got away and he'll never find love again, and he loses. It's dumb. So the main plot is about Worf and Dax are going on a mission to basically pick up a Cardassian who's defecting. He's willing to join our side and kind of give a bunch of secrets. And so the two of them go out, and as soon as they leave on a runabout, my first thought was would they really send a married couple together? And sure enough, the main plot about this episode is Dax ends up getting injured and Worf has to make the decision on whether to leave her and go get the Cardassian and come back and hope that she's still alive, or to basically just retreat and go back home. So during the course of this, there's a lot of interesting character development, seeing the two of them being in love and talking about their wedding and stuff like that. And Worf decides to go ahead and leave Dax and try to save this Cardassian, and he's like, I will be back within 24 hours, and then we'll all leave together. And Dax is like, okay, and then she's clearly going to die before then. So he leaves, and then he finally gets to a certain point where he's like, no, I can't do this. And he goes back, rescues Dax, and then goes home. And when they get home, it turns out that Cardassian who had defected was basically caught and then killed. So, we could have learned tons of secrets and saved millions of people, but because Worf saved his wife, we don't get any of these secrets. And so supposedly, the actress who plays Dax had talked about how at this point she knew that this was going to be her last season and she wasn't going to return. And she wanted this episode to be the episode where Dax dies. If they were going to kill her off, it would be this episode. Because then Worf could do that where he puts his duty of being a Starfleet officer over his wife and goes and saves the Cardassian. But they decided not to do that, and they pushed it to the end of the season. So, and there's some really great dialogue between Worf and Sisko, where Sisko's because of this, it was a whole secret operation to begin with, so you're not going to be court-martialed, but you're never going to get your own command, you're never going to be put on assignment with Dax again, and, it's going to basically be in your permanent record, because you made the wrong decision. But if Jennifer, Sisko's wife, had been in that position, he's like, yeah, in a heartbeat, I would have just saved her. So it's a really interesting episode, and I liked it for the character study, but there's not a whole lot to it. It was a pretty basic type of episode. For those who have seen this one, what did you think about it? What did you think about the subplot? And then what did you think if the actress who plays Dax, if she had gotten her wish and Dax and Worf had saved the Cardassian and Dax had died? Do you think that would have been better episode or worse? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Wrongs Darker Than Death or Night.